Are you thinking about moving to San Diego? Well, let's make sure you don't end up in the wrong neighborhood, because choosing the wrong area can cost you big time, especially when it comes to things like commute times, lifestyle, and even resale value. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through every major San Diego area, from the coast to the inland suburbs, who each area is actually best for, and the biggest trade-offs that could surprise you if you're relocating here for the very first time. Hey guys, my name is Nick, a top real estate advisor that helps people move to San Diego the right way. So whether you're moving from the Bay Area, Arizona, or across the country, this breakdown is gonna give you that local knowledge you need to avoid mistakes and make a smart move right here to San Diego. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so you can see I have San Diego pulled up on the map right here. I feel like this is the best way to break down these areas and give you a very realistic visual of San Diego in general. So let's go ahead and start by just breaking down San Diego, because it's a big area. Remember, you got over 3.3 million people living here. So it's a really big area, and it takes some time to figure out the right area for you. So you can see right here, this is technically all of San Diego County right here, kind of in a nutshell right there. But what I want to really show you guys and break down is the different counties and areas. So let me show you this too. As I click San Diego, you're gonna see that Google outlines the entire city of San Diego. So again, this isn't the county. The city is about I think it's about 1.3 million people. But you can see it's a lot of the central area, even getting up to some of North County, which I'm gonna break down in a second. But this basically means if you're anywhere in this red dotted line, that means your actual address is a San Diego address. So here in the city of San Diego, it's literally gonna say, not Carmel Valley, but it's gonna say San Diego in your address. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people ask questions on that, but let me kind of take it down to the next level and just break down the different counties, because North County is a big one. And right here, I want to outline, it's basically anything from Highway 56 right here, Poway, going up to Fallbrook area. So this can all be considered North County, San Diego. And don't worry, because I'm going to break a lot of these cities down and just tell you who it's right for and all that fun stuff. So there's a little visual of North County. It basically goes all the way up to Fallbrook. And then once you get to Fallbrook, this is now gonna be, Temecula or Riverside County. And let's go down, since you already saw the central part. So again, a lot of this central from 56 South down to, let's almost say the 54 or National City. A lot of this is gonna be considered central San Diego. It's a lot more dense, a lot more walkability, all that type of stuff. And then as we get down to South Bay, which is technically gonna be Chula Vista, going down to the Mexico border right here. So you got areas like Imperial Beach, you got San Ysidro, Chula Vista, East Lake over here. So that's gonna be the South Bay area. And then of course you have East County, which East County is gonna more so be more the rural, like Alpine, Ramona-ish. Lakeside is gonna be part of it. Sorry for my drawing skills, guys. This is the best I can get. So that's all gonna be considered East County. There's a lot of value over there, a lot more rural feeling, and the prices are a little bit better. And when I say better prices, I mean more affordability, right? There's not a lot of that here in San Diego, especially as you get closer to the coast or the beach. That's where you're gonna lose your affordability. So when you get to, a little more inland, you're gonna find a lot more value there and more of that affordability. But what I wanna break down right now is our highway system here, because this is gonna be really important if you have commutes. You gotta take your kids to school, or you gotta get the freeway. And we have a lot of different freeway systems, especially down here in the central San Diego. But let's start up here in North County, because you kind of have your main veins or your main highways. You have Highway 76 right here, which will take you from the 5 all the way to the 15 over here. And then you're gonna have the Interstate 5, which goes all the way up into LA. That'll actually take you down to downtown San Diego. And then you have the 78. Now, they get backed up at your peak rush hour times for sure. All of these do, and they get congested in the same spot, especially at the junction right here on the 78 and the 5. And then your 78 and 15 corridor junction, that gets really backed up as well. And especially if you commute up into Riverside, up on the 15, expect that to get a little crazy sometimes as well. But those are kind of your main highways in the North County area. And those will take you all the way down to, the 805, and the 15 actually goes all the way into downtown San Diego. And I'll kind of zoom in down here as well to show you got a lot more going on, right? So does that make it less congested? easier to get around? No, it still gets congested down here. It's more dense. Like you have the 163 right here. This will take you to the 8, which the 8 goes east and west. This will actually take you into Arizona if you want to head out that way. So you guys get the picture. A lot of different highways, and it does get a little bit more congested down here, I would say, in the central downtown area of San Diego, because again, it's dense and there's just more people living down here. And depending on where you're coming from, I know a lot of people deal with toll roads and all that stuff. If you've never heard of a carpool lane, we have a lot of carpool lanes, especially up and down Interstate 5 right here. So if you have, an electric vehicle, or you got more than you in the car, 2 people or more, then you can hop into those carpool lanes. And you have quite a few of them throughout the San Diego freeways. And then if you do want like a fast track, which is our toll road, this would be like the 15 over here. They have something called a fast track, and you can, pay a monthly service for that. And it basically gives you a faster freeway access with less congestion. So you'll see that in parts of San Diego. And another thing you really have to be aware of is those commute times, because people make those mistakes so often, and you need to avoid making that wrong decision. Let's say you you buy something or live in San Marcos and you have to commute to the airport, a few times a month. That drive could get a little annoying, especially during those, peak hours. That drive, honestly, with no traffic, can take 30 to 40 minutes, but chances are you're probably going to be commuting during those traffic times. That could be a 50-minute drive, maybe an hour if traffic's really bad. Same if you live up in Oceanside, or maybe you're in the more central part of Oceanside. You have to hop on the 76. Now you're taking the 5 down here because your office you have to go to 3 times a week is in downtown San Diego. That's going to get annoying. So you want to be aware of these commutes, Chula Vista to even heading up northbound. If you have to go to Del Mar for, you're going to play golf or something, or, go take a dip in the ocean, that could take a little bit of time too. No traffic, probably 20 minutes, but with traffic, more like 45. All right, now that you guys have a really good overview of the entire county, let's break this down and get into the nitty gritty and just kind of go over each area so you're figuring out the best area for you depending on what you're looking for. I'm going to break it down so well that you're going to understand what's the best areas if you're looking for privacy and space. Or maybe you're looking for a master plan community. Maybe you're looking for those affordable and booming areas. Or maybe you're looking for some walkability and you just want to have more of that urban lifestyle. So we're going to break all this down. You are going to be so educated on San Diego, and you're going to get those good visuals. So let's start off and just really talk about kind of that urban core where we have walkability, culture, condos, all of that right at your fingertips. So really where you're going to find most of that kind of urban feeling is hands down going to be in the central downtown area of San Diego. So downtown San Diego is right here, even parts of National City, but going up to North Park, Normal Heights, and Hillcrest area. This is going to be hands down your areas and where you should be looking if you're looking for that type of lifestyle. And it is so fun down here. You have areas like North Park, you have Normal Heights, Kensington, South Park, Golden Hill, downtown, Little Italy, Hillcrest. There is just so many little nuggets in here. And again, these areas are really going to be for people that want to have all of the nightlife and things to do right at their fingertips. I'm talking right out of your front door. So it's going to really be good for, people that are single, or maybe younger professionals, or maybe young couples, or maybe you're just young at heart and you like to have all that stuff at your fingertips, like, food scene, condo living, low maintenance living, that type of style. That's all going to be down here. And I want to really start with North Park because this is one of my favorite areas in San Diego. It's very hip. There's a lot of stuff going on, and you have a lot of cool different styles of housing, not to mention the food area, or I should say University Ave right here. There's so much going on. Let's drop our little guy down here. So this is kind of like your main downtown area, or I should say University Ave. I'm just trying to find you guys the North Park sign. There it is. So this whole road right here is literally shops, bars, and restaurants. You actually have a really fun music venue right here called the Observatory. Some really good shows there. Keep that on your lineup, especially if you live, no matter where you live in San Diego, you're going to catch some good shows there. But that's kind of this vibe down here. You got a lot of hole-in-the-wall shops. There's a lot of culture as well. Tacos, ramen, sushi, you name it, you're going to find it. And it's all very walkable, which is my favorite part. And these neighborhoods down here. So let me show you actually what the style of homes are, because you do have a lot of single family options down here as well, but they're not a lot of maintenance. Like here's kind of the style of the homes down here. You have a lot of Spanish style homes. You have craftsman style. And that's really just like the vibe. You have a lot of multifamily as well, which is cool. So if you want a house hack, a lot of these homes have detached garages that have been converted, and now they're a 1-bedroom that you could either rent out or, have the in-laws stay in. But that's kind of the vibe down here. And it's, it's not just here in North Park, but as you zoom out, South Park's gonna look very similar to North Park. You have Kensington, Normal Heights, City Heights. All of these are very similar with how the neighborhood feels. So while you do have a lot of density here, some of the negatives might be there's a lot of cars on the street, there's gonna be more noise, things like that. The trade-off is you actually do get some great accessibility, but if you like to spend time at a park, well, guess what? You have Balboa Park, which is kind of like our central park, like what New York has, but over here in central San Diego, we got Balboa Park. So if you want to go on trail runs or have a picnic, there is so much going on in here. And one thing I really want to highlight while we're looking around down here is the style of homes, because yes, you do have condos and mid-rise and all that stuff where you can find options, starting at about $500,000 that are very low maintenance and easy to maintain. But you also have a ton of single family homes that are gorgeous. So if you love that, more architecture, older homes that were built in the 50s and 60s that have maybe been renovated, but a lot of them have kept their charm. Look down in the central area. I mean, we just dropped the ball down here in Kensington, and all of the homes look very similar to this, but they all look a little different. They're all Spanish style in Kensington, and you have some gorgeous homes, as you guys can see, that just have some, a real vibe to them, and they're just unlike anything you'll really find in other parts of San Diego. And your home prices down here, if you want a single family home, whether it be North Park or City Heights or Kensington, they're all gonna really range anywhere from about $1 million going up to $2.5 or $3 million. So if you do have that $1 million budget, know you probably can find something. You just have to be extremely patient. And let's say you're like, Nick, I love the walkability, I love the cultural differences with all the food we have in North Park and Central San Diego, but I want to have a high rise. I want views, and I still want that walkability. Well, your only other option with some of that good walkability is going to be downtown San Diego, where you have a ton of great options over here. But again, it's going to be a lot of high-rise living, especially down there off of Broadway, whether you want to be, in the marina area right here. You have some beautiful high-rises with just jaw-dropping views of the bay or the skyline. Little Italy is a top hit. You have a really fun farmers market over here that happens every single weekend, and it just pops off. It's such a good time, and you just have a lot of really good restaurants too down here. So if you are a foodie and you don't like to cook at home, well, guess what? You have endless options. East Village is also a place that's really turning over and looking a lot different every single day. I would say one thing to keep a lookout on is, homelessness in the downtown area of basically any city can be a little bit crazy, but as you get more to the west side or Little Italy, you're gonna see a lot less of it. So just a pro tip there. And I feel like everybody that ends up living in downtown usually wants the same thing. They want low maintenance, they want a high rise with really pretty views, and they want that active lifestyle, which you get all of that right here. And you can find condos really starting at about $500,000 and beautiful penthouses going up to $2.5, $3 million with just exceptional views. One thing I would say is pay attention to the HOA fees down here, because they will vary. You'll see a really nice priced unit, but the HOA fees are $1,200 a month. So just know what they include, because some people actually find a lot of value in those HOAs while others don't. So that's kind of the little spiel on a lot of the walkability here in San Diego. I should touch base on Bankers Hill too, because this is a bit of a gem. Kind of has like an in-between feel of North Park and downtown, but it's just right up on the hill. It's literally called Bankers Hill, but you got some really cool stuff going on over here. Not only is it right next to Balboa Park, but you have, I was actually over here the other day and I went to a Michelin star, a bakery called Michi Michi. I'm not even close to it right here, but it's somewhere around here. But you can kind of feel this area out. You have some, apartment complexes. You have a lot of mid-rise buildings too, with a bit of a high-rise feel too. So if you want to stay out of the hustle and bustle, but still be really close to it, Bankers Hill is going to be a really good spot. And the last place for walkability, because guys, I'm being honest, a lot of you want walkability, but it's not all over the place in San Diego. It's in specific zones. And I broke them down very well, but Mission Valley is kind of more up and coming, and there's a lot of redevelopments happening here. There's, great shopping accessibility, and you have the trolley line that'll take you right here east to west. So you can literally walk out of your condo, hop on the trolley, go grab a beer, go to Target, go to Trader Joe's. You can do all that and not have to worry about getting in your car. So those are going to be some great areas if you're looking for more of that urban, dense walkability lifestyle. So now that you know where all of the hustle and bustle is here in San Diego, let's kind of go a different pace or a different direction, and let's talk about where all of the space and privacy is. Maybe that's what you're looking for, and there's still a lot of value in this because a lot of people don't want those dense scenes that we just talked about. So let's talk about a few, and we're actually going to start with one of the main ones right now, which is going to be Fallbrook. People are shifting their searches over to Fallbrook for quite a few reasons, and as you guys can see, it's a bit further from downtown San Diego. This can be about a 45-minute drive with no traffic. So with traffic, closer to an hour. Fallbrook is going to be actually a pretty big spot. It's bigger than what's showing on this map right here. It's actually going to look more like this. It actually goes into Rainbow, goes into Duluth a little bit. So this is going to be one of your most north as you can get in San Diego areas. But I'm talking beautiful properties, a lot of character back here. You got wineries, you have ranches, you name it, it's out here. And well, I'll touch base on this in a second, but let me just kind of show you what it's like when you're driving around Fallbrook. This is Gerd Road right here, which is a kind of a main road, but it's very rural living. Like you feel like you're not even close to the beach at all. It's mature. There's no sidewalks in a lot of these neighborhoods. This isn't the best example. I wanted to go show you some of the houses, but it's a big area. And I think people really need to realize that it's a slower pace of life here, right? It's gonna take you 10 minutes or 20 minutes sometimes to get to your local grocery store, which a lot of people don't want. They want the convenience of being 5 or 10 minutes away. You have your main downtown area right here in Fallbrook, which is where you can get all that done. You got your cute coffee shops. It's got this older historic feel as well, but this is kind of like your main, well, it's literally called Main Street, but you got, you know, your strip mall with like, there's a Jersey Mike's in here, there's an Albertsons. You don't have a Trader Joe's out here. You don't have a Sprouts. You don't have any of that stuff. So if you're looking for things like that, you're gonna have to commute into Vista or Oceanside to go do that type of shopping. But this is gonna be a spot where you can find those homes on huge lots. I'm talking 1 acre, 2 acre, 3 acre, 5 acre. You can have your citrus trees, your avocado groves. Here's some agriculture over here just to kind of show you what it actually looks like when you're driving around. There's not many stoplights. It's like you're living in the country, and it's pretty refreshing sometimes, especially when I go out here and, you know, tour properties. It's a place that I'm actively helping people buy and sell. But from Fallbrook to Oceanside to the beach, you're probably about a 35-minute drive to the ocean and everything that Oceanside or these coastal towns have to offer. So there's actually a lot of value in areas like Fallbrook. So it's definitely a place I recommend looking into. You can find homes, big single family homes, you know, 2,500 square feet on an acre for less than $1 million still in Fallbrook. Or if you want something a little more high end, like an estate that's even bigger with a guest house and a pool, you can find that for $1.5 million. So the values still up there are really well. And then let's make our way south to another more spacious. I wouldn't say all of Vista is going to have this spacious rural feeling, but I find a lot of value in 92084, which is this whole corridor over here, kind of near Bringle Terrace Park. A lot of fun. I go to Bringle Terrace a couple times a week to go play pickleball, but this area, very similar to Fallbrook, but this is where you can still find a lot of privacy, a lot of long private driveways to homes. And again, it has that no sidewalks, big mature trees, windy roads, beautiful homes on some proper land. So if you like that type of style, Vista is going to be awesome for that, because again, you can find single family homes for under $1 million, but once you get to that million, 1.2, you'll see some really awesome options, and you're even closer to the beach. You hop on the 78 right here, you're going to be at the beach in 20 minutes. So a lot of value. I'm seeing a lot of people pick up their things that have been renting on the coast forever. They can't afford it. They're buying in Vista. It's just what happens. The downtown area as well is definitely changing a lot. You have a lot of fun stuff to do. You got a Belching Beaver right here. Let me see. So Belching Beaver is actually a brewery. This is a tavern as well, so they have some really good food. You got Yellow Deli to my right here with some really good sandwiches. This is kind of like the downtown area in general. So it's fun. It's like a cute little historic vibe in this zone. But that's kind of an area I would recommend looking in if you want to find more space and kind of an up and coming area. Also, another spot would be Escondido. If you want, as you get more to the outskirts of Escondido, you have some beautiful homes with, you know, views of Lake Hodges. You have hiking trails galore, especially in the south area. Felicita is going to be an awesome neighborhood. East Canyon, East Grove, kind of again on these outer districts. Jesmond Dean, Hidden Meadows, this southern area, all of these areas. As you get more central, this is going to be a little more dense. Still a great value, but it's going to lose its space and privacy. So Escondido is going to be another good spot, especially if your budget is, you know, around $1 million. You can find some great properties going up to 1.2, 1.5. You'll have a lot of options for that if that's what you're really looking for, especially if you don't mind being a little bit further from the coast. This is going to be an awesome place to call home, see if you like it, go to Felicita. The downtown area is actually going to be right here off of Grand. And this, it's funny, as you get inland, you have a lot of these neighborhoods are a little bit older. Let's drop this guy right there. This is going to be Grand, so you can kind of get a feel for the walkability in this area. But a lot of these neighborhoods are a bit older, so you're going to find homes that were built in the 60s and 70s. You're not going to find that new construction really, especially in like Vista or Fallbrook. They're going to have older fields to them, more character, things like that. And then if you head south from Escondido and you're looking for a little more space and privacy, Ramona, hands down, is going to be a lot more east than people usually want to move when they're in San Diego, but that is going to have, you're going to get a ton of value with space out there. And then Poway always seems to be a big hit. The name is the city in the country. That's a little motto for this town, but it's a cool spot. And you have different types of living out here, especially off of Espola right here. You'll see how it kind of makes this L downward. You have some really gorgeous homes back in these little veiny zones. It's going to get a little bit more expensive over here. I would say, you know, single family homes in Poway you can find for right around $1 million. I mean, it's an expensive place because the schools are some of the best, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but you can see you get some property out here and you have a really cool kind of style of homes that not every home looks the same, right? This isn't like a master planned area. It's a lot of custom homes. You can't even see a lot of these homes from the main road right here. So, you know, Poway, this northern area, especially if you're big into hiking daily, can't say enough good things about it. You got Potato Chip Rock, you got Woodson Trail, you have Hodges, which is right over here. That's really close. So really good area if you want to have space. Those are going to be some of your best areas that I kind of mentioned if you're looking for more space and privacy at a good value. And one thing you really want to keep in mind is there's a lot of microclimates here in San Diego and people don't realize this. So the more you get away from the coast here, the warmer it gets. If it's a hot day in Encinitas, let's say it's 80, proper beach day, doesn't happen very often, but more so summer. You go towards the 15 over here and you get over to Rancho Bernardo, or you get as far as Lakeside or Santee, it can easily be 90 degrees. So there's a big jump in temperature all over here in San Diego County. So you really have to keep that in mind. Even from Oceanside to Fallbrook, the temperature can jump up 10, 12 degrees sometimes. So it's something to be aware of. And there is, you know, in the summer months, we do get a marine layer here on the coast called June gloom, May gray. It is very real, but it's something you definitely want to pay attention to. So if you want to avoid that and you don't want those cooler temperatures, you know, move a little inland, you'll find some more moderate temperatures, but just a pro tip. But let's kind of move into that coastal lifestyle that a lot of people are always reaching out about. They are moving to San Diego and they don't want anything else. They want to be close to the beach because that's where everything is. And sometimes I can't blame them. I get it. So you have a lot of coastal communities down here, everything from Imperial Beach, which is going to be one of the more affordable ones, all the way to La Jolla, Point Loma, Solana Beach, Encinitas, a lot of great coastal towns that all offer their own special things. Now, if you want affordability in a beach town, Oceanside is going to be one of your most affordable beach towns in Southern California. Still a really good price. Pretty big area, as you guys can see. To get from one side to the other, it could take you 20 minutes. So a lot of different neighborhoods. You have Loma Alta, you have Fire Mountain just to the south. Helped quite a few people move into Fire Mountain. It's probably one of my favorite neighborhoods. You can find single family homes close to the beach for a little less, or right at $1.5 million. Or if you want some more affordability, look into Rancho del Oro, areas in North Valley. You can find single family homes for right under $1 million. So there still is a lot of opportunity. And Oceanside is one of those coastal towns that's just so much fun. Even in this downtown area near the pier, there's a lot going on and a lot of redevelopment is happening. So keep your eyes on this town. If you're an investor or you're just trying to get in now before prices get wild, you can take a little look around right here. It's a fun time if you like to get out there. South Oceanside right here, super fun area. A lot of older craftsman style homes, beach bungalows. It's just one of those areas where there is a lot of charm, and each house is a little different. That one's not too cute, but there is some really great neighborhoods, or I should say some really great homes in this neighborhood if you want that coastal lifestyle. So Oceanside's going to be one of those areas that is affordable if you're looking for a coastal town. If you have a bigger budget, Carlsbad is going to be right around $1.5 million if you do want a single family home, or if you're okay with a condo or townhome. I recommend looking into La Costa down here in the south. Kind of a very upscale living over here, but you can find condos for honestly right around $600,000 and you're still really close to the beach. I mean, there's a lot going on here. I'm going to talk about master plan communities and where to look for those in a little bit. We're going to come back to Carlsbad, but if you want the coastal lifestyle, just understand that lifestyle does cost more. Encinitas is another one of my favorites. Helped quite a people move over here. You have some great kind of different lifestyles. If you want to be in Leucadia, or maybe you want to be in Cardiff by the Sea, this is really cool. A lot of homes with some really special views. You're going to have Seaside Market down here. Kind of more of, if you want that more holistic, or you like organic markets or organic foods and just healthier, no seed oils, all that type of stuff. All of the coastal zones are going to offer that. I hear a lot of people say, Nick, I need to be close to a Whole Foods. And shockingly enough, there's only, I think, 3 Whole Foods in San Diego. One of them is going to be in Del Mar right here. We have another one in La Jolla, in the village of La Jolla over here on the right. And then you have one more. I'm not exactly sure where that's at, but there's not a lot of options. But you do have other options like Sprouts, or you have a Jimbo's, Fraser Farms. Those are some other ones. So if you're looking to be close to those organic markets, one of my favorites is actually going to be in Encinitas. I might be going off on a tangent, but you have Lazy Acres, which is actually located right here. But this is a really good market. I mean, their meat here, you're not going to find any better quality. Yes, it's more expensive, but anytime I'm driving through Encinitas, I usually make a pit stop there. So a lot of these coastal towns are going to offer not only just some really, really good schools. Carlsbad School District, one of the top public school systems. Encinitas is going to be San Diego Union, really good schools. All of these are going to have top-notch public schools. It's just finding the right budget for you, and depends on the lifestyle you're looking for, because they all will have a little bit different of a lifestyle. And guys, we have over 100 videos on our YouTube channel breaking down nearly every single area and neighborhood here in San Diego, and it's all meant to give you real local knowledge of what it's like to live there, sleep there, play there, work there, and what it actually costs to live there. So guys, use that stuff. It's all out there for you guys. And of course, if you want to take it to the next level and you really need help figuring it out, we will save you a ton of time. Reach out. My information is just right there down below. We've helped people from all over the country, all over the world, make smarter decisions. So if that's you, feel free to reach out. So let's say you're looking for more of a master plan suburban feel. Well, San Diego has a ton of them. I'm talking areas that have great schools, shopping centers close by, trail access, and just a clean, consistent neighborhood feel. This is in big demand right now. A lot of people want this style of a house, and we have quite a few neighborhoods like that. But let's actually start with Carmel Valley, which is going to be pretty central for the most part. It's in North County, but it's right off of Interstate 5 and the 56 right here. But you have a lot of great things to really like about this area. You're going to have some top-rated schools. You got Torrey Pines High School, Canyon Crest Academy, Ashley Falls, just to name a few. And it has so much accessibility. I will say there's a lot of high income earners in this area. I mean, homes over here really don't start until about, I'd say about 2.2 million. You'll find some really nice options. But anything lower than that, from right below $1 million, you'll find condos and stuff like that. But if you want a single family home, right around 2.2 going up to $3.5–4 million, but very clean, consistent look. A lot of HOAs back here. You're gonna have the Melrose as well in a lot of areas. So something to keep in mind, but the accessibility when it comes to things like having a Lululemon or having a Jimbo's, which is kind of like a Whole Foods. You got Shake Shack, you got so much going on for shopping over here, and it's all within a couple minute drive. Steak 48 right here on the corner. I don't know why it's not populating. If you're looking for a date night or you're coming into town and you want to go somewhere good, go to Steak 48. Wow, wow, wow. Really good, top of the line food. But that's kind of one of your higher end master plan communities. If you got, a little bit less of a budget, I'd recommend going down south a little bit, end up in Chula Vista. When you get on this east side, like East Lake, Otay Ranch right here, these communities over here, for what you get for that master plan feel, where you got the sidewalks, you got parks all around, families galore, and some really good schools, you can still find value over here for under $1 million. And there still is new construction going on. Rolling Hills Ranch over here starts to get a little bit more high end, especially over here in Bella Lago, but you have some really nice, let's see if I can drop this guy in a neighborhood. So you get some mountain views over here, which is kind of cool. It's going to be a little bit more inland, but if you want that, clean, consistent look, Chula Vista or the east side of Chula Vista is definitely, a lot of people are sleeping on that, especially because you're closer to the airport, downtown San Diego, all the fun stuff that we talked about at the beginning of the video is right there. So that's a place I definitely recommend looking into. A couple more that I want to touch base on is going to be 4S Ranch. This is another place that's actually part of the Poway Unified School District, along with Del Sur. It's going to be that neighborhood that has, you can kind of see all the pocket parks and the green spaces. Really nice look over here as well. Although houses are going to be on the higher side. They're going to be around 2 million, maybe a little less than 2 million, but you have some really nice, clean, consistent look over here in both Del Sur and 4S Ranch, and you get those nice schools, which is good. And then another one is going to, I'll share two more with you guys, but Carlsbad will dip back over here. The beauty about Carlsbad is you're a coastal town. You're not out of control prices like Encinitas yet, where you can't find a single family home unless you got about 1.6, 1.7. Over here in Carlsbad, you can still find some value right around 1.2 million. Condos you can find for less, same with townhomes, but really good public school system over here. And you have some awesome communities like Bressy Ranch right here, where you're gonna have, shopping, parks, you got a Trader Joe's, a Sprouts, ton of great little eateries as well over here. So it's kind of a eat, sleep, work, play lifestyle all in one spot. You're gonna have Aviara as well, which is a master plan community. You're going to have parts of La Costa, which is gonna be on the southern part, Calavera Hills. So I think you kind of catch my drift with that, is if you want that coastal master plan feel, definitely be looking in Carlsbad. And then San Marcos is, to me, it's a master planned city in a way, and they've done a really good job over here because you have some really awesome communities like San Elijo Hills. This is actually where my mom lives, and there is trails in here, there's grocery stores, there's a couple schools, everything's just within like a mile radius. And the hiking over here is amazing too. So if you like to have trail systems and just have outdoor life, San Marcos, without breaking the budget too, you can find some good options for right around $1 million, going up to 2 million, if you want a good view. So keep areas like this on your radar, because I feel like people don't really know about them. They kind of know about all these other flashy spots, and then they look into San Marcos and they're like, holy smokes, there's some serious value here, especially when it comes to the schools. These are some of your best bang for your buck when it comes to what you get for your property and what you get with the schools. And let's say you're a high income earner, or you just have a higher budget and you really value lifestyle and an awesome property all together at once. I want to recommend a couple areas too for you. And the first one is definitely going to be Rancho Santa Fe, which is going to be on the higher end. I wasn't kidding when I said this, because a lot of your options that I'm about to recommend are going to be not starting till $3, $4, $5 million on the low end. So Rancho Santa Fe is one of those, and this is like a dream to a lot of people. And if you're able to shop in an area like Rancho Santa Fe, consider yourself very lucky, because this is absolutely gorgeous back here. I mean, some of these homes have sold for $15, $20 million, and it's very private back here. Has this very rural feeling. It's very magical to me in a way. I know that sounds kind of corny, but it's private And it's kind of, these homes out here, they're homes you never have to leave. Like, you have everything you could ever need there. A pool, a pickleball court, tennis court, guest house. Like, you can't even see the houses from the darn street here. That's how private it is, but it is that higher end area. So if you're looking for something like that and you want to have your space and privacy at a higher budget, look at Rancho Santa Fe, and you're right outside of these coastal areas. So you're 10, 15 minutes from the beach. You can't really find a lifestyle like that anywhere else. Very cool, very fun. Another spot would be La Jolla. This is where you get like to live on vacation every single day. I will say during those summer months, it gets a lot busier out here. You know, you have tourists here and it can feel a little congested, but outside of that, it's beautiful. You have some great neighborhoods like Maryland's right here. You have Bird Rock, which is going to be in the southern area. You're going to have La Jolla Farms up to the north over here. You have downtown La Jolla. You have so many great options. And, you know, depending on what you want, whether you want views or you want space out here, you can find it. Your detached options really aren't going to start till the high 2 millions, but you can find some solid options for condos, you know, right at about $800,000, $900,000 in the La Jolla Village over here, which is great. You got your Whole Foods over here. You got plenty of shopping and you're just minutes from the beach. So that's great if you're looking for that. And then if you head a little bit south, one of my favorites, kind of low key, is going to be Point Loma. This whole peninsula right here, you have every different style. Well, I'd say a lot of these higher end areas that we're kind of talking about, homes come in all different shapes and sizes, which I absolutely love. I mean, you have big modern new builds right next to houses that were built in the 30s that are just craftsman or, you know, Spanish style. And that's kind of the feel over here in Point Loma. And it's very mature. And depending if you want views, especially up on this is kind of a hill right here, you can find homes that have views of Coronado and the San Diego skyline and the bay right here, or you can have cliffs of just, or not cliffs, but views of just the Pacific Ocean right to the west here. So that's one of the beautiful things, but Point Loma is going to be, you know, lower turnover rate. A lot of these areas that are a higher price point. A lot of the parents bought it back in the day and then they, you know, pass it down to the kids and the kids never sell it. So it's hard to find homes that fit the bill for a lot of people over here. And, you know, the budget is going to be starting at about $3 million. Although keep in mind, a lot of these expensive areas, you can find condos, townhomes for under $1 million. And then one other, well, I guess a couple others is Del Mar is going to be top notch, depending if you want kind of that sleepier, quieter town. You know, summer months, it gets busy, but off season, you know, away from the racetrack and all that, you have some gorgeous homes, very chill lifestyle. You got the beach here. You can go on your beach walks in the morning with your coffee, your dog, or, you know, you can just hang out at one of your houses. Maybe you live on Amphitheater right here. This is where you have some really, really pretty homes throughout. A lot of blurred homes over here because they're kind of high net worth, but you can kind of get a feel right here of some of these homes. Really pretty. That's probably like a $6 million house right there. So prices will get a lot higher here in Del Mar. And then one that's on the lower end that's still pretty luxury to me is going to be Encinitas, especially this coastal zone right now. Like I'm recommending a lot of people that are kind of dead set on La Jolla. I'm saying, hey, have you heard of Encinitas? Have you been up here? It's kind of a little bit more laid back of a lifestyle, not as expensive. And you can find kind of similar homes up here, especially in Locadia, back on these hills, or downtown Encinitas, Cardiff. You have some great homes, a lot of good value where you can find, you know, detached homes for $2 million still. That same thing in La Jolla will run you $3 or $4 million. So just some little hints on some of those higher end areas if your budget can allow for it. Now, as you guys saw, San Diego is one of the most livable cities in the country, but it also is one of the most geographically diverse as well. And choosing the wrong area for your lifestyle or your commute or just your family needs can turn a really amazing city into a super frustrating experience. And I've literally helped people from every background you can think of just make more confident and smart decisions with their move to San Diego. And I'd love to help you too. So if you're looking for some guidance, whether you're just starting this journey or you're even just a few months out, reach out. My info is just right there down below. I'd be happy to help out. And also, if you're looking for more videos about living and moving to San Diego, check out this video right here.